Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for your Twitter reaction to Motherwell 1, Celtic 4 at Fir Park. A much needed win after Thursday night's disappointment. Before we get started today, I have to tell you about our sponsors, OneFootball. The OneFootball app has everything that you need at a touch of a button. You know this already. It has lineup notifications as soon as the teams get announced on game days. It has goal alerts from any game that you want to keep tabs on from around the world. You can keep up to date with league tables, top scorers, assist makers, yellow cards, red cards, you name it, you'll find it there on the app, and you can get all the Celtic related news as soon as it breaks straight from the app. You can download it by clicking the link in the description of this video. It is free to download wherever you get your apps on your phone, and it's a great way to support the channel, so click the link and get involved. We'll start today with @KevinM_88, high tempo and forward passing for the majority of the game. Brown looked good today, 20 to go, he should have been taken off, predicted and given Turnbull his chance. Bad goal to lose, but a lot more assured with Ayer and Beaton. Vogic was brilliant and need more of that from Moy domestically. I thought today we were much better. We deserved a reaction. The team had to come out the blocks and take control of the game for the word go. We couldn't let the game linger on in the first half and let it pass us by as we've done so many times already this season. We had to see a response for Thursday night because it was so bad. And I think we got that in the early stage of the game. Impressed with Ayeti today, didn't get a goal, but he does really well to read that back pass. I think maybe for Polworth into Gallagher. He gets on it. It's a great strike off the post. El Yunusi's there for the tap in. Tom Rogic's instrumental, absolutely brilliant today domestically. He is just so good. I said before the game that he might get dropped and Turnbull might be given his chance, but there's no doubt that Tom Rogic domestically is he's so important for us, and it's, again, I said it last week, it's mad to think that we nearly let him go, because right now he is at the hub of everything that we're doing in terms of creating chances and scoring goals. Patrick Murphy 89, a convincing scoreline and a decent performance, a good first half but showed signs of staleness in the second. We really need to improve our defending at set pieces, as it's been a year-long issue for me. Let's find consistency now. I think today the only threat Motherwell posed was with cross balls and set pieces. They got the goal with Gallagher. It comes from a deep free kick, which I think is poor, because you usually like one closer to the box or from out wide gives the opposition that angle to whip a ball in, and then if somebody gets ahead to it, it might be a goal. But Motherwell's one today is from so deep, it's almost the halfway line, and Gallagher just wins the header, guides it towards the back post, it skips up off the turf and it beats Bain. So it is a poor goal we lose, and I think we do need to address that. I think we need to address a lot of things defensively. The set pieces is definitely one of them. I think the defensive organisation of the team is one of the big underlying issues. That's what we keep seeing when we come up against decent sides that are well coached. I don't think today is proof that those issues are gone. I think we made that mistake last week by thinking we turned the corner and that was us, we were sorted, and it's not. We have to remember that we're playing Motherwell. With all due respect, I don't think Motherwell are at the level they were at 2 or 3 years ago. It's when we come up against decent sides that are well coached that the defensive organisation gets really tested. So we do need to work on that, and we definitely need to improve how we're defending set pieces. Andy Boy 69, much better, extra yard of pace in Calmac and the rest of the midfield. Ayer was excellent today in defence, which looked far more composed. The team as a whole looked more, well, like a team, sharper, stronger, and taking chances with no passengers. I think, listen, football is often defined by, certainly from a fan's point of view, scoring goals. We got 4 today. El Yunusi got 3 of them. I thought he was brilliant. I'm so happy for him, because he was excessively treated the other night for that phone debacle. I think he became a scapegoat when it was such a tiny issue in the grand scheme of things. So I'm happy for him. I think we did look better today. Callum McGregor played a little bit higher up the pitch. He looked more attacking minded. That let Scott Brown just sit back and do the dirty work, which I think Scott Brown done really well today. He broke up Motherwell's attacks when he had to, and we did look better. We looked a little bit sharper, we looked stronger. But again, I have to preface it by saying it is against Motherwell. We haven't turned the corner yet. We have to put a run together of 7, 8, 9 wins in a row before we can say, do you know what, we're really starting to turn the corner for where we've been this season. At Big G 1888, better performance and happy with the scoreline. Just can't get buzzing on it, as nothing has changed my mind from Thursday. Moy, a great leap for the third. Big Tam showed his class. Hope Ayer isn't long term, and internationals ruin our chance to build on today's result. I think Graham's made a great point there. We can't get buzzing, we can't get carried away with today. It's a good win. It was much needed after Thursday night. We were comfortable, we played well today, but we haven't seen that enough this season, and we need to get it week after week after week before we say we're starting to turn the corner, we're starting to look like the real Celtic again. Graham's right again. Moy, brilliant. The leap for the third goal was superb. Almost Cristiano Ronaldo-esque. Hung in the air for so long, guided the header down into the bottom corner. It's a great goal. The international break it's no ideal for us. There's no getting away for that. The last international break was an absolute catastrophe for us because we lost Edouard, Beaton, El Ahmed to COVID positive tests. Christie was affected by COVID as well. So it can't be any worse than that. We need to avoid a repeat of that. We've got Hibs away when we come back, which we don't have a great record. We don't have a great record at Easter Road at all in the league. We drew there last season. I think that was the only trip we had there last season because of the truncated season with COVID. So that will be a tough game for us, even though Hibs are off the back of 2 disappointing defeats. But we need carried positivity from today into that game at Easter Road. There's no doubt about that. At M7B Chow 1916, great performance and 3 vital points, but overall anxiety hasn't been alleviated. It begs the question why we haven't or can't do that all season. That's what I've been saying so far. Like, we just can't get carried away with this. It's not that this one victory against Motherwell doesn't take away all of those underlying issues. There's a lot of work that needs to go in off the pitch, on the training ground, in terms of looking at where the team's organisation is wrong, because it only really gets tested when you come up against those better teams, and we can't lull ourselves into a false sense of security and think that because we won today comfortably against Motherwell that they've all of a sudden just vanished, because they haven't. And when we come to play more decent teams again after this next international break, if we don't fix them, then they will be shown up again. We'll finish tonight at Craig Mack 1209. Great result, but a much needed one. Still showing a lot of frailties at the back, but we had the hunger in the first half. We need to build and take one game at a time, but we can't ignore what has happened recently. That's a great summary. We can't ignore what's happened recently. As I've been saying all video, we can't just bury our heads in the sand and think that all the underlying issues have vanished because we got a good win today. We did get a good win. It was much needed. Much better performances from a lot of players and the team collectively. It was good to see Ayer come in and take Duffy's place. I think Duffy needs a few weeks out of it now. I know we've got the international break, but I think even when we come back, Duffy should continue on the bench because he's not been at the level so far. And if Julian comes back after the break, maybe going back to that last season partnership, Ayer and Julian will help us, because that's the partnership that has the most familiarity. But we can't ignore what's happened recently. We thought we'd turned the corner last week with the performances against Lille and Aberdeen, and it was proven that we hadn't on Thursday night. So we can't do the same again and think that we've turned the corner, because we haven't, and we'll be tested against much better teams than Motherwell. But to sum up today, it's a good win. It's much needed. And that's all we can do. We just need to keep putting these wins together domestically. We can forget about Europe. We are going to have to play another 3 games in that group stage, despite the fact that we're already out. But domestically, we just have to put a run of wins together. As I say, I'm looking for 7, 8, 9 in a row before we can say, do you know what, we're properly back, and we can start to get to the level we were at last season. That's it for today. Like the video, comment your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back after the international break with the build up to Hibs away. I hope you get through that international break, because I know it's always a struggle for me. Cheers.